Hello, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 413. It's a Friday. I apologize in advance for possibly a shaky video today. My computer's been running like ultra slow this morning. That's not why I'm 4 minutes behind. I was actually I was using Canva to come up with today's YouTube thumbnail, but I wanted to use the Rockford guys, their design in my design for my thumbnail. So I had to create one from scratch, and I'm not very good with that. So I was working on that, and then like every step, when you're on your computer and like every function like is little as like clicking a tweet, like sending a tweet, and it just like it's almost like it's 56K dial up. It's like, okay, come on, we should be faster than this. Like every function, every time I clicked on YouTube. So I apologize in advance if there's some shakiness, if my video sucks, what have you. We've got a full chat on a Friday morning. George, what is happening? Zach was watching George's hobby drive. Now, George, if George about forgot what I talked about. Been over 12 hours now, George. If George stays awake, George. By the way, if you're new to the program, George is in Korea. George is KBO Collections, and I think if George can stay awake, it's nighttime in Korea. If George can stay awake, I'm going to join him opening some pro debut packs this morning here in the States, evening in Korea. So George, just let me know in the chat. We messaged last night for me, this morning for George, about that. So the only thing is after I cut out here, I've got to run upstairs. My wife has an appointment this morning. She overslept yesterday. She was hosting a Zoom. I'm laughing because now I've got a story. So my wife was hosting a Zoom roundtable for real estate and like pricing the market, and she comes downstairs just like she's like, I overslept. It was like 9:50, and her like thing started at 10. So she's like fresh out of bed, and she goes. So I'm like doing dishes. I'm like doing cleaning my coffee cup or whatever, and she goes, at least I don't have to be on video. And I said, just without thinking, that's the trouble I get in. Without thinking, I said, well, that's a good thing. That comment did not go over well. So yeah, so I have to wake her up this morning because it's more important. Today's appointment is more important than yesterday. Jenny, good morning to you. Ryan, good morning. Card collecting addict, what's up? Why Vince Coleman is a Hall of Famer. Oh, okay. I'm like, why is Vince Coleman a Hall of Famer? That's what George talked about. I haven't watched the hobby drive. I kind of slept in this morning. I didn't wake up super early. We went to friends for dinner last night. We hadn't seen them since before COVID. So it was great to see them. My friend Robert cooked this amazing steak. It was a flank steak, which is not something that is like, it's not one of like, it's not what you think of as a great cut of meat, but the way he flavored it, and it was not tough, and it was the flavor, the marinade he used. And I think his wife's a big into marketing, and she had a blog. So I'm going to have to find the recipe, because the marinade he used, there was like honey and sugar. What else was in there? Oh, it was unlike any other marinade I've tasted. It was amazing. And he sent me home with somebody. He's like, this, now he goes, it's usually even better the next day, and you could make like a steak sandwich out of it. So I'm like, it's 7 a.m. I haven't even had breakfast, and I'm looking forward to making a steak sandwich for lunch. It's 10:05 p.m. The struggle is real, but I should be good to go for a short bit. Sounds good. Jenny says, I woke up early because I wanted to run outside to see if we had snow. We don't, but cities within an hour. Disappointing for you. Actually, yesterday I was like, I could use some snow. I don't want snow right now because what I'm going to talk about today, I'm going to be traveling tomorrow for the Rockford Card Show. So I don't want to travel in the snow, although it's completely like 100% interstate. For me, like from my driveway to Rockford, there's like my like subdivision 2 blocks of road to the main highway. That's all that I have to deal with. The highway that's just outside my subdivision, it's clear, and then I take it straight to the belt line, which is basically an interstate. And I take the belt line to the interstate, and those are all super clear. And then once you get off the exit, it's kind of a main highway all the way to the church where the card show is. So it's really not an issue of unless it's like an absolute blizzard, then obviously that's different, but should be okay. So I could use some snow. It's middle November. Hallmark Christmas movies are on. I can take it. But I did see like northern Minnesota, like the Dakotas, they're getting slammed. It's the old Alberta Clipper. So yeah, I saw up north is really getting hit. So what's up, Diego? Good morning. Jenny says, speaking of traveling card shows, thoughts on trying to make the April Madison show a mini national? I think I'll grab a couple tables from you unless it's a blizzard. Awesome. Yeah. That would be awesome. So talking card shows, tomorrow I'll be in Rockford, Illinois, the Northern Illinois Card Show. It's I've basically decided to just do as a vendor 2 shows a month, my show and the Rockford show. And then maybe along the way, if something else comes up, Schaumburg's too far out for me. They've got a great bargain box guy there already. And he's got his regulars that just walked by my table and went to his. So that's fine. And I was up at like 4 a.m. There's tolls along the way, so it just wasn't worth my drive to do that show. But there's some other shows in Wisconsin. Maybe I'll, if there's openings or if I want to do a show, I'll do another one. But right now I'm comfortable with the 2 shows that I'm doing. Good morning, Mark. So yeah, Rockford Card Show tomorrow. I've got my bargain boxes. I made up a couple new bargain boxes. I think I've got a football and a basketball just from some of the bulk that I've picked up over the last month. So we'll have some all new stuff. I'll have some new stuff for Rockford. It was new for October at my Madison show, but I had not made it up for Rockford. So so probably 4 new boxes that if customers had been to Rockford but not Madison, we'll see all new stuff. So I've just got to make some signage today. I've got to finish up a couple other boxes, and we'll be good to go. Most of my stuff is still in my car, which that's the good part of it getting colder. Twofold, less humidity, although we don't have too bad of humidity here in Wisconsin. Although some of the time in summer it does get too humid. You don't want to leave cards in your inside the garage, and but also I use the back of my SUV to haul grass. I bag my grass and take it. There's a landscape just a few blocks away, so I just bag it, put it in the car. So what I do, and it's happened several times where I've still got my cards in the car, I've got to take them out, and so now I don't have to deal with that because I'm not mowing, and it's cold. There's not humidity to warp any of the cards. So Mark says, I will have to make a road trip sometime to hit your show. That would be so cool. Maybe tie it in with a Chicago trip. Of course, my shows are always on Saturday, so but that would be awesome. Or Milwaukee, Miller Park is about an hour and a half. So Milwaukee to here would also tie in well also. So that's about all I had. I mean, I just really don't have much today. I didn't do my homework. Again, 2 days in a row, failed to do my homework, but I did want to just plug the show tomorrow in Rockford. It's 9 to 3, free admission. There's free breaks for kids. John does an awesome job with the kids breaks. There's always a crowd of kids that are in the breaks, so that's always cool. Full show, I think 60 tables. So that's going to be awesome to see. I don't know as far as my strategy, and I talked about this. I talked about this yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yesterday, or no, last week. Saturday, I talked about my card show strategy for Oak Creek. Now tomorrow as a vendor, it's a little different because I'm not like going specifically as a buyer. Because sometimes when I'm set up at a card show, it's my strategy is just to sell and not to buy. Now it's changed over the in the last month. It's changed quite dramatically because now more than a month ago, if something came by my table and it's like a Cubs card or something, like yeah, I'll buy this for $20 or $100 or whatever it might be. Now it's a little more strategic, and I'm not just buying anything I like, and I have to be wise with the decision. So now the card shows as a vendor, it's a little different. If I am buying, it's typically it's a reinvestment. It's inventory. And I think John, who I bought the bargain boxes from in bulk at last month's show in Rockford, I think he will be set up as well this month. So I'll see what he has. There was some pretty good stuff in the boxes I bought from him. So we'll see if there's anything that I like and go from there. But tomorrow I don't really have like my I think my main target is to sell. And then if there's some good stuff, if some bulk buys, I'll look into that. And then I have to, and the reason being is I'm doing a card show. I'm going to be at card shows every weekend. So I can't just go full bore. And if a great deal, if it's too good to pass up, obviously I have to pull the trigger, but I do have to be a little more strategic this month just because, I don't want to spend all the money at one show and not have the means for a potential a bigger, like what if a great collection comes before me at next week's show or my show. So that's kind of where I'm at, where it's sell first, and then if I can get a good bulk buy, I'll tackle it. So that's kind of the strategy for tomorrow's show. Sell first. If a good bulk buy presents itself, I'm in. Next week is this month is going like crazy fast. I woke up this morning and it's like, holy cow, tomorrow's Saturday. I don't really have any prep for tomorrow's show. I just got to change some signage and fill up a couple rows in a box, and that's about it. But then it's like next week it's Chicago, and so I'll be heading out of town probably Friday morning. I'll likely go live Friday morning because I don't think the show starts. I've got to check the hours depending on when the show starts. I'll go live and then hit the road for Rosemont and be there all day Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Brandeis, is that the correct term? Friday, I'm gonna tap. Saturday the same, and then Sunday I'll kind of feel out for some bulk buys to buy out. I think it's gonna be a great show. There's a thread on the Blowout forums. Somebody expressed their disappointment with September show. I'm glad I didn't go to the September Spectacular. It was just kind of a throw-in because they hadn't had one since November of 2019. So it had been almost 2 years since the Chicago Sports Spectacular, because the March show was going to be a go. The March 2020 show was going to be a go, and the governor came down like at the last minute, like nope, no indoor gatherings. And so they had, most of the vendors were already in Chicago. So they had already traveled in, and the show was canceled by governor's orders. So the March was canceled. Then they pushed it back to, I don't know, June. And of course, that got canceled. November's was canceled. March was canceled because Illinois was still under those strict orders. They pushed it back to June, and they had to cancel June because it was going to be the first weekend in June, but the Illinois mandate hadn't been lifted, wasn't going to be lifted until like the middle of June. So then they pushed it out to September. Well, the problem with September's show was that the National had been at that same venue 1 month prior. And a lot of these, in the Spectacular is a big show. So if you went to the September show and haven't gone to any others, just throw that opinion out the window, because most of the vendors traveling in decided to skip it because they just traveled in 1 month prior for the National at the same exact venue. And this November show was already on the schedule. So it's like, well, I was in Chicago a month ago. It's going to be essentially the same clientele. So I'll just do my regularly scheduled November show. So the November show is going to be back to normal. I think it's going to be a big one because people, haven't really experienced it in 2 years since before COVID. So I'm really looking forward to the November. It is November, the Chicago Sports Spectacular, which is next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So strategy there is going to be just dig through bargain boxes and then maybe get some bulk buys on Sunday. And then the Madison Card Show, the November show, is Saturday, November 27th. It's going to be our biggest show yet. I'm at 48 confirmed vendors, or 48 confirmed tables, and I have 2 regulars that are kind of week of decisions. They're likely in, so that's another 4 to 6 tables. I'm up to 11 or 12 first-time vendors, which is a record. So over the weekend, depending what comes in, I'm going to have to talk to the venue and consider doing the hallway. Because I can't remember what I have the plan, but I can fit like 64 tables, I think, in the room before I have to go out and utilize the hallway. So going to be a great show, and I'll see, because I'll talk to some people tomorrow in Rockford, gauge their interest, and see if we can pick off some more. In fact, the vendor just texted me. I still need to find out my plans for Thanksgiving weekend. Okay. And that's the issue. It is the Saturday after Thanksgiving. I'm surprised and pretty excited about how many people are in. It's also deer hunting. I have 3 vendors out because of deer hunting. So that's, I know a couple vendors can't do it because of travel for Thanksgiving, which I knew was going to happen. I didn't even think of deer hunting. I don't hunt. So, that's big up here. So I have 3 vendors out because of deer hunting. So yeah, but we're still at the number we're at. So I'm very happy with that. Jenny asks, anyone know where Brad, the Texas Card Dude, has been lately? He's been around. I think he tweeted this morning that he's not going live. He did go live Wednesday, but I'm not sure. But he did tweet yesterday or this morning that he's not going to be live. FYI, the Madison Card Show is now on the TCDB site. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, there's some sites that I didn't know TCDB. I check out, I was getting a lot of hits on my website from TCDB last week or this week. And so I did check out the message boards to see where those clicks were coming from. Dan, good evening to Dan. John, what's up, John? Mark's going to shoot Brad a text. Yeah, so John is the promoter of the Rockford show. So glad to have John with us this morning. I'm excited. John is also the man behind the term Bargain Box Beau. I've got to give him credit for that. And by the way, I did buy the domain bargainboxbeau.com. I haven't used it, but I thought maybe creating a shell website for my bargain boxes. So John gets all the credit for Bargain Box Beau. The 3B, like 3B collection. What's up, Herman? Good morning. LOL, you were mentioned on there a couple weeks ago, and I helped promote you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So I'll have bargain boxes in tow, about 50,000. Baseball, football, basketball. I've got to run through some soccer cards because I had a bunch of soccer interest in Rockford last month. And I did find, as I was kind of digging through my inventory to list some cards, I did find some other soccer cards. I don't know if they're any good, but I'll throw them in the 25-cent box. John says he wants his royalties. And I did, speaking of inventory, I did add 200, and I want to, before I it's only been 20 minutes, so I've got some time. I added 250 cards to my eBay store yesterday. Baseball. I went baseball yesterday. Baseball is still, it's the middle of November, and this is typically the worst time to sell baseball. Now, a lot, like what I listed yesterday is like retired players, veterans. I did list some first Bowmans on there. But it's like I'm having better success selling baseball, which is good because that's where most of my inventory is, though I have been trying to buy more football and basketball just because it's in season. And I can't believe, and I messaged a couple friends last night, like, I can't believe how soft the basketball market is, the basketball card market. I mean, 2 years ago, before COVID, basketball was insane. And now, and I know there's a lot of talk about how Luka cards are crashing, and it's it's across the board. Like, I have an entire 4-row box of rookie cards, and I mean, we're not talking like high-end rookies, but they're like $1.50 in my e-store, and there's a best offer option, and like they're not moving. And some of them are Prism, Mosaic. Yeah, there's some Chronicles stuff in there, but for the most part, I can't believe how little is moving. It's like my baseball and football boxes, it's like I'm hitting those up with sales, and the basketball is trickling based on what I've added, because I've added so many basketball cards to my eBay store over the last 2 weeks. I've got some color, and I think I'm going to toss up some color because I haven't added. Basically, what I've been listing, I run through the scanner, but it's tough to the thicker cards like the Mosaics and Prism. They don't run through the scanner well. You can run penny sleeves through them, but it's just not good because so when you run a penny sleeve through it, and I've mentioned this before. So you have a card. We'll use Luis Arias. So you have a card, and so it runs through, and even though this is a tight fit penny sleeve, like it runs through, and like it so easily, this happens, and it kind of creates that. So you can see that on camera, and you can see that on the scan. And then sometimes when it feeds through, it'll feed at an angle, so the picture comes out like it's all wacky. So that's why I've just kind of stopped putting penny sleeves through them, and it is kind of difficult to get the heavier stock cards through. Although Heritage works, I mean, man, it creates a phenomenal scan on Heritage stock cards. So, but it's the chromium stuff, and I said it initially I wasn't going to put chromiums through, but if it's a dollar card, I'm not worried. It's all about risk. So if nothing has been damaged, nothing has been scratched, but there's always the what if. I'm not going to send a $50 card in a plain white envelope, and I'm not going to put a $50 card through the scanner. Not because I don't trust the scanner, not because I don't trust PWE. It's all about the risk. The chances of a PWE with no tracking getting lost in the mail, it can be great, especially you never know who's on the other side of the transaction. So it's all about risk aversion. So I added some baseball to the eBay store, and I'm just surprised by the soft market. And I guess I should have expected that because like over the summer, even though it was off season for basketball, I mean, I was finding what you would find in dollar boxes a year ago we're now in 25-cent bargain boxes. We're talking basketball rookie cards. So I guess I should have anticipated. I was just chalking it up to basketball off season. But Jordan Poole's been hot. There's been some other players that move, but a lot of cards are just sitting. Mark says, when you go through soccer, I'll take any Jeff Cameron cards. Sounds good. I don't have many soccer cards. Is Jeff Cameron a newer? Most of what I have for soccer is like 2018. I think it's like all 2018. It was in part of a bulk buy that I got a couple years ago. So 2016, 18, somewhere in there. So fairly recent. Steph is my interview tonight. I will definitely tune in for that. I don't know if what my plans are this evening, but if I don't catch you live, I will definitely watch the replay at some point this weekend. Hey, speaking of vendors, I've got another text. Yes, I'm in for the 27th. Can I get the same spot, 2 tables? So we're at 50 confirmed tables for the November 27th show, and we're still over 2 weeks out. That's awesome. So that's great. Played on national team last World Cup. Okay, so that's I might have something. I'll look through them. I'm going to go through them today because I want to get those added to my bargain boxes. So I will check. I'll check out for Jeff Cameron. I think that's all I had for today. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're not. I'd really like to hit 1,000 subscribers. I think I'm sitting at like 440 or 430, so would like to get those numbers up. Retail today. I'm gonna hit some stores because I really want archives. Like I love Topps archives, and I've started seeing some in the wild. There's a Boys of Zimmer card in archives this year with Rhino. It's Sandberg, Maddox, and Boys of Zimmer. Love the card. So I'm in for archives. I've always said, and I don't know if I've blogged about this, but archives definitely buy retail over hobby because the hits, at least, I don't know, I'd have to look at the odds, but I've always had better success buying retail archives than hobby. And I've pulled about the same amount of autographs, buying 4 to 6 blasters for, $80 to $100, and a hobby box is like 120 or 140, whatever it is, and it's 2 autographs, and it's the same. Like, it's not like Bowman where you get the chrome autos in hobby, and you get like the lesser. The odds are much longer to get an auto in retail, but they're either paper or green. So it's basically the autos are the same across the board in archives. So I am gonna be on the lookout for autographs for retail. I know the Walmart closest to me usually gets stocked early morning, so may make a trip this morning over there, and then we'll see about the other stuff. So Diego says I'll have to look for the Boys of Zimmer. Yeah, it's an awesome card. I just go live on YouTube. Otherwise, I'd try to bring it up. I wonder if I could. That's gonna take me too long. But yeah, I don't know if it'd be on eBay yet, but it's a sweet card. So also, by the way, Dan, I'm repping your hoodie today. I'm gonna go Hoodie Fridays. Since I'm the boss of my one-man company, I'm instituting Hoodie Fridays. So Dan is the first Hoodie Friday. Herman says my Walmart had them last night. Awesome. In archives is one of those things where it's like it's the perfect product for me because it's not like it's people are pulling them off the shelf. It's not like in a super in demand product. So it should be it should be easy to find. Put it that way. So it's so I'm looking forward to it. I love archives. So it's not one of my favorite products. Actually, it is one of my favorite products, but it's not on the short list. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite product, which can be Bowman, Topps Heritage, or Allen and Ginn, depending on what season it is, what month it is, based on the release. John, I will see you tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Rockford Card Show, Rock Church, Harrison Avenue, Rockford, Illinois. I'll be there 9 to 3 tomorrow. Have a great Friday. George, are you still awake? If George is still awake, we're gonna rip a few packs. Well, George is gonna rip a few packs of Topps Pro Debut, and I'm just gonna be along for the ride, and talk. So talk about some of the players. So if George is still awake, we're gonna be on his channel. He's awake. George is awake. Okay, I've got to go. Speaking of awake, I've got to go wake up my wife, and then shoot me the link, and we'll go on George's channel, KBO Collections. So have a great Friday, and I will not be live tomorrow. I'm just going to be waking up and heading to Rockford. So no show tomorrow morning. I'll be heading to Rockford. So Sunday morning, I'll recap the show. So no show tomorrow. Recap on Sunday morning. Have a great Friday, and we'll chat on Sunday.